presented by R. Shravanti, Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering and DBS of Technology. So today we are starting fourth unit. So fourth unit name will be inverters. So inverters. So the contents are inverters and single phase inverter and basic series inverter and basic parallel capacitor inverter and bridge inverters and waveforms and simplified forced commutation circuit for bridge inverter and single phase half and full bridge inverter. And next pulse width modulation control and harmonic reduction technique and voltage control technique for inverter. So three phase VSI in 1200 and 1800 modes of conduction. These are the contents for in fourth unit. So next, so introduction. So what is inverter? So the word inverter in the contents of power electronics denotes a class of power conversion. So power conversion means it converts so from DC to AC voltage. So that operates from DC voltage source or a DC current source and converts into AC voltage or a current. So the inverter does not reverse the what AC to DC converter. So does refers from AC to DC converter. So even though in input is inverter circuit, so is a DC source is not uncommon to have it to have this DC derived from AC source. So it will convert from DC to AC, does not convert from AC to CT, AC to DC. Okay, so inverter means it will converting AC to DC. Okay, so next single phase half bridge DC to AC inverter. Okay, so this is the circuit diagram for half bridge inverter. Here we are using R load. So the load will be in resistive load. So this is the circuit diagram for half bridge inverter. Here we have two two thi- two transistors and here two diodes will be there and here load will be connected. So in the middle of capacitors and diodes and this is will be taken as the source Vs. So the source will be Vs. Okay. So here the source input will be divided into two parts in a capacitor C1, that is Vs by 2, and here Vs by 2 in C2. Okay. So the output obtained in a R load. So the current flowing I naught. Okay. So here Q1, Q2 are the two transistors and D1, D2 will be connected across Q1 and Q2 transistor diode D2 will be connected. Okay. So next, the analysis of DC to AC inverter is done taking into accounts of the following assumptions and conversions. So the current entering a node is considered to be positive. So the current entering node is considered as positive. So the switches S1 and S2 are unidirectional such that they conduct a current in one direction. So the current through S1 is denoted as I1 and current through S2 is I2. So here the current flowing from here I1 and here I2. And next the switching sequence is so designed in a figure below. Here switch S1 is one of the time duration 0 less than or equal to 2 and less than or equal to T1, and switch S2 will be operated in the time duration of T1 less than or equal to T less than or equal to T2. So when switch S1 is turned on, the instantaneous voltage across the load V0 equal to Vn by 2. So when the switch ST is only turned on, voltage across the load is V0 equal to Vin by 2. Here the output voltage will be V0 equal to Vn V0 by 2. Okay. So and next these are the half bridge DC to AC inverter output waveforms. Here the signal S1 and the signal S2. So for Q1 and Q2 we are giving a input signals. So here and output voltage across the load. So whenever the T1 will be on, so the output will be obtained. After that in negative half cycle the Q2 will be operated and the output will be obtained in negative direction, that is minus V0 by 2. And again, whenever Q1 will be operated, so the output voltage will be V0 by 2. So positive V0 by 2. So current through S1. So the current through S1 means, so it will be obtained in positive mode. So V in by 2R. So the output current will be obtained in positive direction, and current through S2. So here the current through S2 will be obtained T1 less than or equal to T less than or equal to T. At this time, the current through S2 will be obtained. So these are the half bridge DC to AC inverter output waveforms. Okay. So the RMS value of output voltage V0 is given by V0 RMS equal to 1 by T integral 0 to T1 V in square by 4 dt. So that implies V in by 2. So the instantaneous output voltage V0 is a rectangular in shape. So the instantaneous value of V0 can be expressed in Fourier series. So in Fourier series, the output voltage V0 equal to A0 by 2 plus sigma n equal to 1 to infinity an cos of n omega t plus bn sin of n omega t. So this is the instantaneous value of V0 in Fourier series. So due to the quarter wave symmetry along the time axis, the value of A0 and an are 0. So A0 will be 0. Why? Because it is a symmetry along the time axis. Okay. So the value Bn is given as Bn equal to 1 by pi integral of minus pi by 2 to 0 and minus of Vn by 2 d omega 2 plus 0 to pi by 2 Vn by 2 d omega 2. So by simplifying this, we get Bn equal to 2 Vn by n pi. So substituting the value of Bn in the above equation, so we get V0 equal to sigma n equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on infinity 2 Vn by n pi sin of n omega t. Here we are taking 135. So n equal to 135. So the current through a resistor IL is given as sigma n equal to 135 sigma 135 to infinity 1 by r into 2 Vn by n pi into sin of n omega t. Okay. This is the current through a resistor and this is the output voltage. So next, half bridge DC to AC inverter with L load. So in the above diagram, we have only resistor as load. Here we are taking resistor and inductor as load. So the diagram will be same, but load will be saying different. So resistor and inductor will be connected in load. So the DC to AC converts with the inductive load is shown in figure below. So for inductive load, the current can't change immediately with output voltage. So the current does not change immediately with the output voltage. So the working of DC to AC inverter with the inductive load. So the figure will be shows in case 1 in the time of interval 0 less than t and less than or equal to t1. So when the switch S1 is on and the current flowing through inductor from point A to B. Here from A to B the current flowing. So when switch S1 is turned off, for at T1 the load current would be continue flow through a capacitor C2 and diode D2. So whenever this S1 will be turned off, the current flowing from A to B and after that it will be going so C2 and D2. So from D2 to A to B and C2. So the current flowing will be like this. So and diode D2 until the current falls to 0 as shown in figure below. So this is case 1 operation of RL load. So in this figure at starting S1 will be S1 switch will be on state. So the current flowing from a load and whenever the switch will be off, then the current flowing from D3 to and A to B and C2. Okay. So in case 2, similarly when S2 is turned off at a time T equal to T1, so the load current flows through the diode D1 and the capacitor C1, and so here C1 until the current falls to 0. So here in this figure we are showing the current flowing C1 and load. So when S2 will be turned off, the current flowing will be like this. Okay. So this is single phase half bridge DC to AC inverter with L load, and switch S2 will be turned off. So when the diodes D1 and D2 conduct, energy is fed back to a DC source, and these diodes are known as feedback diodes. So these diodes are also known as freewheeling diodes. So the current for purely inductive load is given as IL equal to sigma N equal to 135 to infinity and 1 by omega NL into 2 Vn by N pi sin of N omega t minus pi by 2. So similarly for RL load, the instantaneous load current is obtained as, so for RL load, the instantaneous load current IL equal to sigma N equal to 135 and so to infinity 2 Vn by N pi root of R square plus N omega L whole square into sine of N omega t minus theta N. Okay, so where theta N equal to tan inverse of N omega L by R. So operation of single phase full bridge inverter. So in full bridge inverter, so DC to AC inverter, so the figure will be showing in below. So the analysis of single phase DC to AC inverter is done by taking into account of following assumption. Here the two assumptions will be taken for single phase full bridge inverter operation. So the current entering a node in a is considered to be positive when the switches S1, S2, S3 and S4 are unidirectional such that they conduct current in one direction. So in this figure you have to see. So the current entering will be positive, and here the switches S1, S2 and S3 and S4. So this will be in unidirectional. So the current flowing in only one direction. So this is a single phase full bridge DC to AC inverter with a resistive load. Here so the input will be Vs, and here two capacitors, and here Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 are the four transistor and diodes D1, D2, D3, D4. So these diodes will be connected across through a transistor. Okay. So for full bridge inverter. So and next when switches S1 and S2 will be turned on simultaneously. So in this figure we have to see at starting. So S1 and S2 will be turned on simultaneously for the interval of 0 less than t and less than or equal to t1. So the voltage V in appears across the load current, and so across the load, and current flows from A to B. So whenever this S1 and S2 will be turned on, the current flowing from VS2 and Q1 and Q1 to, so Q1 to load A to B, and so A to B, and the coming to D2. So D2 to it will be going to source. Okay. So here Q1 and Q2 will be on, Q3, Q4 will be off. So V0 equal to Vs. So here Q1, Qt will be turned on simultaneously. The current flowing from Vs to Q1, Q1 to A to B, and A to B to, and B to D2. So D2, and here's source. So the current flowing will be like this. So when switches S3 and S4 will be turned on the duration of T1 less than or equal to T less than or equal to T2, the voltage across the load. So the load is reversed, and the current through the load flow from B to A. So Q1 and Q2 will be turned off, and Q3, Q4 will be on. So here V0 equal to minus Vs. So single phase full bridge DC to AC inverter with R load. So the current directions will be like this. So here the current flowing from source to here Q3 and Q3 to B2A and B2 to Q4 and source. Okay. So this is single phase full bridge DC to AC inverter with R load. Also the current direction will be VS to Q3, Q3 to load and load to Q4 and input. Fine. Voltage and current waveforms across the resistive load are shown in below. So single phase full bridge DC to AC inverter waveforms. Here voltage and current waveforms across the resistive load. So here, so this is IL1, IL2 and IL3. So the current from VS1, so here in VS1 it will be obtained and IL2 will be obtained in VS2. So and IL3 will be obtained in the in VS3. So in negative mode will be obtained in the in full bridge. So these are the current waveforms. Next, single phase full bridge inverter with R load, RL load. So single phase square wave type voltage source inverter produces a square shaped output voltage for a single phase load. Such a inverter have a very simple control logic and the power switches need to operate at much lower frequencies compared to a switches. So some of other type inverters. So the first generation of inverters using the thyristor switches were almost invariably square wave inverters because thyristor switches could be switched on and off only few hundred times in a second. So here the output will be obtained in square wave. So why? Because here the switch will be turned on and off simultaneously. So at this single phase inverters mostly used in half bridge or full bridge topology. So power circuit of these topologies will be shown in figure. So this is single phase full bridge DC to AC inverter with inductive load. Here input will be EDC and here we have capacitor CDC. Here SW1 and SW3, SW4 and SW2 will be there. So here load will be connected. So the current flowing will be IDC. So the above topology is analyzed under the assumption of ideal circuit condition. So this is ideal circuit condition. Accordingly, it is assumed that the input DC voltage EDC is a constant and the switches are lossless. So the full bridge topology has two such legs. Each leg of a inverter consists of two series connected electronic switches shown within a dotted line. So these are the electronic switches. So each of these switches consists of an IGBT type controlled switches across which uncontrolled diodes of a anti-parallel manner. So these switches are capable of conducting bidirectional current, but they need to block only one polarity of voltage. So the junction point of the switches in each leg of inverter serves as a output point for the load. So thank you.